Okay. We're recording now. We're trying to learn how to use this thing. We have never done this sort of program on Zoom before. We used to do them a bit on Skype, and truthfully, the sound wasn't that great. So we're hoping it's better on Zoom. We will not be using the big drum because that doesn't come across well at all in the virtual realm. But we do have our drums, we do have our bowls, and assorted other things as we do this program. Sue's going to open the program for us today, I think with a song. I'm not sure, maybe some flute. And then we're going to share some knowledge and teachings, hopefully some knowledge. Yeah, maybe not wisdom, but definitely knowledge. And teachings on how different cultures used sound for teaching and for healing in the past. A lot of it is taught by me, by my teachers. Some of it Sue has uncovered as we've gone down this road. And we'll kind of bring it up to the current day. So some of these techniques will give you things you can use at home for yourself, for others, if you put little circles together. We do a lot of drum circles, and we do a lot of drum and bowl healing circles. And they're always well received, and we always get a lot of comments and compliments on the energy people get out of it. And then we will actually dig in, and we will provide a sound healing opportunity. That's the part we haven't quite done before, so we'll see how that works. I'm sure the energy will be perfect because it always is. The sound may not be 100%, we just never know. But make sure you listen to this with your heart and not your head. This entire program, really. The teachings work on your heart first, your head second. The sound healing itself absolutely is all heart-based. To get the most you can out of that, you will want to be in your heart. So try to sit and relax, especially in the beginning as I turn this over to Sue, and get out of your head. Stop that head from spinning if it's doing that. Let it calm down. Move into your heart. Feel that energy, and actually try to make your heart as big as you can. Make it feel like it's filling your whole body, and allow the teachings and certainly the music and the sounds later to go right into your heart. From there, it'll go wherever it needs to go. And I see we now have 4 of us here. Perfect. We are the 4 directions. Thank you all. So whoever just came, looks like you might be hearing 2 versions. Okay, good. We'll also allow for questions at times. So if people have questions or want to make comments, we'll unmute that person, or they can. And feel free to ask what you need to or want to. On the rest of the time, though, keep yourself muted, because you'll get a better quality of sound from us, and we won't interfere with each other. Hope that makes sense. Thank you all for being here. We love you. And here we go.
Hello, everyone. I just want to thank you for being here. And just allow yourself to really connect with your heart. Jim will be talking about the indigenous part of the sound healing. And then we'll, like you said earlier, we'll be going into actual drumming and the singing of the bowls. So, and I think I might at some point just take you on a small guided little journey to get you in the right place before we do the drumming and the bowls. So I thought I'd start us off just with one of the songs I've written, and just kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy. Be at one with your spirit as you walk here on this earth. Know that love that surrounds you was there for you at your birth. Every day is a blessing, sacred journey as you walk. Take the time that is needed to be one with who you are. Every day is a blessing as we walk here on this earth. Know that love that surrounds you was there for you at your birth. Every day is a blessing, sacred journey as you walk. Take the time that is needed to be one with who you are. Some of the songs I've written came to me because I was sitting out in nature, and really connecting with nature and being out there is so important. And really connecting with everything around you, because there's beautiful sounds out there. You can be along the stream, standing along the river. You could be in your backyard and just listening to the birds. Really be alert, be open, and be connected to everything that's around you. It's so very important. There's so much music out there, and there are songs out there that just resonate with your soul. It really depends on what you connect with. And you can feel it in your heart when there's a song that really connects to you. And usually there's a message there for you to learn. And it'll teach you something that you may be avoiding or just need to understand and hear. I thought I would play a little bit of the flute just as another sound instrument, which can really resonate with people. And it's wonderful to have a flute and be outside also. Being connected to nature is just so important. So I think we will go ahead and let Jim do his part with the indigenous sound healing and connect you to that wisdom and knowledge that he has, that he's obtained over the years.
Thank you. What a great way to open. I'm going to hit you with one more sound for the moment. This bowl, there we go. This is a bowl separate from our other bowls we'll play later. But this was a very special bowl, is a very special bowl, I should say. We play it sometimes, not too often. It's for those who are really into bowls. It's a D bowl. It's a sacral bowl. It's 159 megahertz. But it's an initiation into the fabric of the universe. So when we got this bowl, we heard how special it was and how much it was needed. And so we do use it at times. I see that DL had to leave. Glad she was here for a little bit. We know Diane's here. And she doesn't have a mic. So Diane, if you do want to ask anything or say anything, just hit chat on the bottom and you can type it in. Yeah, so just feel this bowl, folks. And when you listen to this later, now just close your eyes and feel this bowl. Let this bowl connect you to the center of the universe above, to the center of the earth below. Feel it move right through your body. let it get you into that state of heart and not head, into that state where you'll be able to connect with everything as we go along today. Okay? Close your eyes if you wish. Keep them open if you wish. Stand on your head if you wish. Since Diana's here, she may get up and dance. Who knows? Here we go. Initiation into the fabric of the universe. Keep feeling it. Still singing. Excuse me. Sorry about my allergies. So, as we go ahead with this, try to stay in that space. No, don't try. If you remember Yoda in Star Wars, there is no try. There either you do or you don't do. So everybody, stay in this space as you're listening to this program down the road. And for those of us here right now, stay in your heart. Stay in that feeling. That bowl is a bowl that we actually got at a conference we presented at a Star Knowledge Conference of Chief Golden Light Eagle. And it's the one that got us on the road to starting to work with bowls and mixing them with our drums. And so for us, it's a doubly special bowl. Now, I had some questions yesterday after we finished that program. And for those who listen to this down the road and want to hear the other programs, the program by Jose unfortunately did not copy, but Jose Munoz, who is our Mayan brother, he will be doing more in the near future, and we will get those to copy, I hope. The program we did yesterday, that I did yesterday, I guess, with some feedback from Jose on that also, on the indigenous teachings of various cultures. That one we do have. And so if you wanted it anytime, get hold of us. We ask that you give some sort of donation to our global community building project. The money from this program and all the programs is going into that to help elders travel to the various gatherings, ceremonies, all these things that are needed right now, including Sue and myself and Jose and some of our other friends, indigenous friends who need to be at some of these gatherings. And so we thank you for that, and then I'll send you a copy of it. Likewise, this one will be taped, and we'll be doing the fourth program, I believe, on the 21st. Well, you'll see it online. I think it's on the 21st. I'll be in San Francisco with Jose and some other elders for a Mayan solstice program. But we'll be doing that. Sue will be here staffing it. We'll be there staffing it, and we'll see what happens with that. That'll also be available. So what I was asked by a couple people is, what is the shirt that I'm wearing and why? And what is hanging around my neck and why? So I'll put that in here because it applies today as well. I talked yesterday about the various cultures that I worked with. And so they're represented here. The shirt, which Sue got me one time, has a wolf on it. And since I was gifted the name Graywolf by my Lakota family when I was adopted, that's why that's here. It is a Lakota ribbon shirt. The ribbons on it here are the four colors, white, red, black, and yellow. The four colors of people. So I wear that to honor my Lakota adoptive family. This jaguar and teeth necklace was actually gifted to me by Jose, our Mayan brother. He's given 25 of these out, and he honored me by giving me one of those. I don't know if he wanted the jaguar to eat me or if he was honoring me, but either way, I consider it an honor. And so that resonates with my Mayan teachings. This, and Sue just made me this pouch for this flute. You guys ought to check out Sacred Hides online. Some of the things Sue makes are beautiful, and they're there for sale. This is a bone flute. It's my eagle flute. This brings in my Aborigine teachings. It's actually also used by a lot of other cultures. But in the Aborigine way, dreams are the reality, and the bone flutes are used to help call in the dreams. So at some point today, I may, if you want to hear what it sounds like, I'll do it right now. And I may do that as we go along. That had our dogs jump up here in the house. And it has Diane smiling. I said, so that's the bone flute. Bone flute. I also use it in ceremony. So if we do a sweat lodge, or we open the pipe, or we just do a prayer sermon, whatever it is, we'll often use that to help bring in the energies, to help bring in the animal folks. So now let's dig into sound. We still have plenty of time, so that's good. Sound healing. What, why, when, where did it all come from? Well, the first instrument you heard today was Sue playing the drum. And we have a lot of drums. You'll see the drum behind us is one of our djembes. It's one that I like. We acquired it in Florida last year when we were presenting at an indigenous conference on the East Coast. West Coast, sorry. I don't know where we were. West Coast of Florida. So I may use that a little bit later. I may not. I wanted it there, though, for the energy. So the first instrument ever for people is the drum. It's used in different ways around the world, but it is used by every culture. It is the one instrument that is common to every culture it is, especially indigenous cultures, but every culture in general, is the drum. So no one owns the drum. No one owns how we use the drum. Everyone uses them a little bit differently. My own birth culture is Italian Gypsy, the olive-skinned people. And my grandmother was a medicine woman in Italy before coming here. They used the drums to drum in prayers before they start, before they do any ceremony. And they use drums in their dancing. That culture is very much into singing, into dancing. Whoops, we're losing some connection here. Okay, I think we're still up. And so they use drums a lot for that. My Native American friends, my family, my adopted Lakota family, use the drums quite a bit in ceremony. And also, of course, at powwows. So we have a large drum, which is not a Native American drum per se, but it is a community drum, and it's a healing drum. It's a 3.5-foot drum. And we use it in a similar way to them. And we have been asked and invited to use it on the reservations, at other gatherings, at powwows. And so we have done that when asked. We're always happy to join in with everyone else, because this is the time of sharing things. My Mayan family, they use drums for a lot of different things. My primary teacher, Umberto, always had a drum with him. No matter what we were doing or where we were, he had a drum with him. It was a very small drum. It was like that size. And he had it hang around his neck. Now, he worked with a lot of animal medicine. And he always used that drum to welcome in the animals. And so he used it quite a bit for his healing work. He was an amazing elder who did a lot in the way of healing. And there's a lot of, we could go on and on about this, and we will a little bit more. The Aborigine folks that I worked with and learned from, they used to teach me quite a bit about drums, and we played drums a lot. I never got the hang of how they played drums. I honestly didn't. And they always made fun of me. And still today, Sue will tell you, when we do drums, I'm the counterbeat. And that's, I think, my job. There's the beat going on, I'm the counterbeat, because I hear something different. It's not meant to be disrespectful, it's meant to be totally respectful. I have trouble keeping a beat going that everyone else is doing, probably because I'm a little bit crazy that way. But it worked, and it used to work with them. They used to laugh at me a lot. They used their drums primarily when they were doing their ceremonies, when they were doing their prayers, absolutely when they were getting ready for their dream time, to welcome in the dreams, because I mentioned this yesterday in the program. I talked about it more. You'll hear more if you want to play that program later. They believed that dream time was reality. Everything we as humans created, we created in our dreams. And then when we were awake, we enacted what we created in the dreams. Well, the drums were their primary tool to get ready for those dreams. And when they came out of those dreams, they were also used in the same way. The drum was then used. They used to teach me about the first drums of the Aborigine people, as they'd heard from their ancestors, grandfathers and grandmothers all the way back. They had no written records. Even the two Aborigine folks that I worked with the most, everything was verbal. And so everything was passed down. But the first drums, according to them, and I've read this with other cultures, not heard it from elders, were simply hollow logs. They would look for a big hollow log, and they'd have sticks. And so the drum became the hollow log and the stick. Since they were, oh dear, I'm drawing a blank. Since they moved around a lot, I can't think of the right word for that. You guys know what I mean. Since they moved around a lot, I can't read your lips, Diane, I'm sorry. Nomadic. Thank you, Diane. Since they were nomadic, it made life much easier if they could just find a hollow log and some sticks and have a drum there. When they started to set up settlements and have kind of home bases, then they started to make drums out of hides. Most cultures make drums out of hides. The drums can be very different. The djembe is back there. You saw the drum that Sue was using, which is a Native American drum, that particular one. It's a wolf drum with a wolf painting, which actually was painted by the cousin of a good friend of mine, which we didn't know when we got the drums. So drum is the oldest. Drum, again, there it is. That's a two-sided drum. So if Sue flips it around, you'll see there's hides on both sides. There are one-sided drums. We have a lot of those here too. It only has the hide on one side. Different sound, a different use. I have a drum, as I was taught by my elders. Here comes a one-sided drum. Now that's a buffalo drum.
Buffalo hide.
Buffalo hide, buffalo drum. A little different sound. I have a drum with a very thick hide that I use when we do ceremonies like sweat lodges, because it holds up much better in that environment. Some of these would just, they would sound like zoom, zoom, zoom after 2 minutes. And so the old ones used to do the same thing. As they created these drums, they realized that drums have not only a very different sound, but an extremely different energy. And so they started to play with that. And that's why Umberto would carry this small drum around his neck to help him talk to the animals. I also worked with a woman in Belize in Central America who taught me a lot of plant medicine. She also had a drum that was with her all the time. She used it to connect with the plants. And so drums were considered by all cultures to connect with not only people, but animals, with plants, with the standing people, the trees, with the rocks, and with the elements. There's a lot who used drums and flutes to connect with the elements. When they got into a place where they were having a drought, for example, they'd use drums, flutes, rattles, noises to try to wake up the elemental ancestors, as some of my teachers would say, so we could bring in rain. And I'm told that it was effective fairly often. Not all the time, and that's why we saw some cultures who would move and change their place because a drought would go on for too long, or another excessive elemental thing. So that's a bit on drums. What am I missing on drums? There's something else I wanted to share about drums, but it may come to me as we talk. First instruments, every culture has them. Every culture uses them a little differently. everybody should welcome drums, in my opinion, no matter how we use them. When Sue and I do drum circles, we welcome any and all drums. If we have people who have Native American style drums, bring them in. If you have djembes, bring them in. If you have homemade drums, bring them in, because they do work together and they create quite a beautiful medicine. Now, before I go into bowls a little bit too, instruments and sound healing. Whoops, I lost the thought that quickly. When I do these teachings, I tend to just teach as it comes to me, because that's where you're not hearing me, you're hearing the ancestors. You're hearing my teachers from the past, most of whom have moved on by now. Oh yeah, the drums, the bowls, the flutes, they're wonderful. They help with healing. They help with teaching. They help with connection, but they are tools. Each one is a tool. They're not the source in itself. We are not going to play drums and bowls for you later, and you are going to miraculously heal. If you do, it's because you have done the work inside. They are absolutely tools to bring in those energies, just like the ceremonies we do and we are participating in, to bring in that healing energy. It's the teaching of the hollow bone. We have to be hollow of ego. We have to be hollow of thinking we are going to do anything. We have to allow the energy from above, from Creator, and the energy from below, from Mother Earth, to come into us, to flow through us, and to go into ourselves to help us with our healing, or if we're working with someone else or some group, to go into those people and help with the healing. So these things are all tools, just like our sacred instruments are. And Sue and I spend a lot of time taking care of our sacred instruments and making sure we're using them in the right way and smudging them and blessing them. But we do recognize that they are tools. Everything that's done, especially in the healing vein, is being done by Creator above and Mother Earth below. Sue mentioned nature, absolutely critical to this. So when we do sound healing, we try to be outside. In the summer here, it's easy. We're in Colorado. In the winter, not so much. So we do have a place here, a Grange, locally that we use that has wonderful energy. It's a very old building. Very soon, we're going to be moving up to Crestone, and we're going to have this beautiful 8-sided building to do programs in. And we're going to be airing a lot of things from that building. It is a special place. If you don't know Crestone, Colorado, I'm not going to go in it now, but Google, and you'll find out more about it. Or ask your friends. If you do spiritual work in any way, you probably know of Crestone. And if you don't, it's probably time to find out. So that'll be coming too. As I said, Sue and I have been working with drums since we got together. I was working with them long before that, and so was she. We also have worked with nature our whole lives, both of us, even more so now that we're together. But we worked with drums. Sue works with flute. Never really worked with bowls. We were around bowls, especially the sacred Tibetan bowls like we have now. We would hear bowls. I'm speaking for both of us, but I think I'm right that that's the case. But when this first bowl, connecting with the universe, came into our possession, we became aware that we needed to add the bowls to the drums. These bowls that we have are made by 3 villages in Nepal. The people of 3 villages, I should say, not the villages. 3 of the villages that were completely destroyed by the earthquakes a couple of years ago. And so this is how the people are trying to get their lives back together. So they are incredibly powerful. They are made from a lot of different elements, a lot of different ores, which have to be imported on horseback, we understand, because they're not available in that country. And then the people there make these bowls, and then they spread them out. So both bowls and drums we also have for sale. Feel free to look up our Etsy site, Sacred Hides. You'll see them on there. Each time you buy a drum, a portion of the money goes back to the native people who have made it. Each time you buy a bowl, money goes back to those villages in Nepal. It's one of our ways of giving back. We do everything through our nonprofits, but it's definitely one of our ways of giving back. So we found as we started working with these, and maybe Sue's going to hit me and take over on this, that the bowls and the drums have different work to do when we bring them together. And we began to find out that the drums become the cleansing instruments when we do this. And so as we play the drums, getting rid of what you no longer need is the goal. Emptying out. Not trying to heal, but just relaxing, enjoying, sucking in the energy of the drums, releasing what you don't need. Sue had someone say to her today, from some energy work we did the other night, that she was feeling very kind of edgy. Well, that happens, and it certainly happens when we do this sound healing thing. It's not a bad thing. After we do the drums, we bring in the bowls, and therein comes in that healing energy. So first one is cleansing energy. It's hard to do any healing if you're all clogged up with a bunch of negativity, a bunch of pain, a bunch of, I froze, there we go, a bunch of energy that you don't need. So drums, help it move out. Bowls, boom, healing energy. When we do these later, I'll let Sue talk more about this, but don't try to control anything. Let it come into you. Let it work on you. Just like some of the other energy work, it'll go where it needs to go. You don't have to direct it. As a matter of fact, when we try to direct it, we sometimes foul it up. So you want to add some stuff to that? I'm going to pass.
Yeah, for the drums, it's just it's very powerful to be able to just sit and have your own drum. I know my first drum I've had, and I still have it. I've a good 15 years now. I spent a lot of time out in nature with it, and just spent that time just connecting with the earth, connecting with nature, just drumming a steady heartbeat, just allowing myself to just take in all that was surrounding me. I remember sitting out behind the log cabin that I lived in the field, especially on the full moons. I really loved to do that the most. And I would spend time, I'd go out back in the middle of the field, in the middle of, in the dark. It didn't faze me one bit. And I'd sit there and just talk to Grandmother Moon and just ask for her guidance and help. And she was always there. She didn't talk back. She enjoyed hearing, just listening. And I enjoyed just connecting to the earth. So once again, each drum really has a certain sound. We have some cowhide drums here that tend to be a little lower in sound than the buffalo hides. And of course, the mother drum that we have, the hoop of many colors, what it is called, she's got a very deep, deep, deep sound, and she has absorbed so much energy from all over the place. We had her in Stonehenge for ceremony, Avebury over in Great Britain, Scotland. She's been on the East Coast and the West Coast, just absorbing energy of all the people that are, part of our circles. Anyone can come and just join in and play. It was just a very, very, very wonderful time to just enjoy the sounds of the drums. And of course, the more people you have playing it, and the more rhythms you can get with the drum, then you can really have some real fun and just really get some what I call jamming going on. It's just very, very soothing. But I think the most powerful drum beat is the heartbeat of the Earth Mother. And that's just a steady, steady beat. And if you could find a place, sit with your drum and just go out into nature, or even in your room, in your house, and just sit, close your eyes, and just play. Just allow all your thoughts to just disappear, all your cares and all your worries. It's just a very soothing way to reconnect with yourself and help yourself find balance. Um, Other drums, the djembes, they're livelier, and it's a lot of fun to get out there and to connect with the other djembes. Jim and I have had the opportunity to connect with, almost 100 people all playing djembes, and it's it's really empowering. It's very, very empowering, and it just helps you just stay connected and stay balanced, and helps to heal. We had a young lady that wanted to really get a healing, and she wanted to be underneath our 3.5 foot drum. So we held it up for her, and we drummed for a good, 15, 20 minutes. And the next day she was quite ill. She was really, really cleansing, really allowing herself to clear out whatever was not needed. It was definitely a healing instrument for her, and it really helped her release things deep within her, so she could move forward and start working more in balance with her life. Different stories for the drums. Do we want to go into any of that, or do we want to get into the bowl so we have time for the healing? I mean, this one is just the Abenaki legend, story of the drum. And it is said when Creator was given a place for all the spirits to dwell who would be taking part in the inhabitants of Mother Earth, there came a sound, a loud boom from off in the distance. As Creator listened, the sound kept coming closer and closer until it finally was right in front of Creator. "Who are you?" asked Creator. "I am the spirit of the drum," was the reply. "I have come here to ask you to allow me to take part in this wonderful thing." How will you take part?" Creator questioned. "I would like to accompany the singing of the people. When they sing from their hearts, I wish to sing as though I was the heartbeat of Mother Earth. In that way, all creation will sing in harmony." Creator granted the request, and from then on, the drum accompanied the people's voices. Throughout all of the indigenous peoples of the world, the drum is the center of all songs. It is the catalyst for the spirit of the songs to rise up to the Creator, so that the prayers in those songs reach where they were meant to go. At all times, the sound of the drum brings completeness, awe, excitement, strength, courage, and fulfillment to the songs. It is Mother's heartbeat, giving her approval to those living upon her. It draws the eagle to it, who carries the message to Creator. And it's also fun, even with the flute and with the drum, how it brings in the wildlife. The birds, they love it. The trees, they love it. I mean, the flutes, the fairies. I mean, any spirit out there who just wants to partake will come and enjoy the sound of the drum or the flute or anything. Singing, just plain singing. Trees love to be sung to. They hear us. We're all one. We're all connected. So it's really a beautiful time.
I'm thinking as Sue is sharing that, and there's multitude of stories about drums, flutes. You can Google and look them up because there's some fun stories there. And we'll be doing other programs that'll be storytelling programs. So we'll do more of that because people love them. I know we do. But what I'm thinking about, in the past, we've had folks say, well, physically I'm in pretty good shape. So, I don't know if the sound healing is going to help me. My problems are emotional or spiritual or mental. The sound healing works at any level that you need it to work. It's not just about physical healing. In fact, I find that it works particularly powerfully for emotional issues. And so if you think that it won't help you because you're physically feeling pretty good, well, it's fine. But unless you're an anomaly, unless you're really different, we all have some level of something that we could use some additional healing on. That's what the instruments will do, especially the mix of drum and bowls. And you'll feel it today. or whenever you hear this. I guarantee you will. So again, don't worry about it. They know. The sound knows where to go. These things are connected above and below. For us, our own instruments they've all been smudged many times with sage. We've had them in ceremonies, all kinds of ceremonies. We use them for healing work. We use them for teaching work. So as Sue said, we had the big drum in the middle of Stonehenge and other places. So they have incredible energy. That's what makes them powerful tools. For the ones we sell, too, by the way, we also smudge them, bless them. We've had them at the fires. We've had them around ceremonies. Not using them, but having them there so they can gather those energies. Because it is the energy that's just as important as the sound. Absolutely as important as the sound. So, let's see, what else? Anything else on that end? I'm not seeing...
The drum is also used quite a lot with shamanic for journeying, and it's a very steady, fast beat, and it's very powerful for helping you to get in that state where you need to be in order to journey and either meet your power animal or your guides, whoever wants to connect with you. So it is a very powerful tool when used for shamanic journeying.
Yeah, that's a good point too. That's right. There's so many different uses. So the sound healing is just one level of use, and we do use them for different things. When I do shamanic courses, which I do periodically, I use the drum a lot. Probably drive some of the people who learn with me a little bit crazy, but it's good. It works. It's very effective. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that in. See someone else joined us. Welcome. I think we'll just go ahead and dig into sound healing. So what you're going to experience is, we do not plan this out, because just like every other bit of energetic work we do, we let it come to us as we create it. In general, you will hear drums first. Remember, cleansing. So just stay out of that head, stay in the heart, out of the head, into the heart. Let the sounds go through you and allow things to leave that you no longer need. Don't worry about what they are. If you do know, that's great. Aloha, Scott, from Hawaii. All right. All right. We have a good friend who's from Hawaii who works with us on sound things quite often. So in general, you will hear the drums. You may at times hear the bone whistle. As you heard Sue say, and she's right, they help in that story, they help you connect with eagle. Well, this is the eagle bone whistle. So you may or may not hear that. I may use it. After we feel the cleansing part is done, we'll probably have you sit quietly for a minute or two until we dig into the bowls. As the bowls start, once again, let it go through you. My suggestion is bring it in the sound from above, let it flow through you and out the bottom. As it flows out, it'll go into the Mother Earth. So you're bringing in the energy from above, through you to Earth. Stay that hollow bone. Don't think too much. Try not to think at all. Try to be like our political system these days. Don't think, just act. Just kidding. Just let that energy come in, feel it in your heart, let it go through you. It'll go where it needs to go. You can certainly set your own intentions. If you know you have some physical issue you would like extra energy for, set that intention. Ask for it. You always in these things have to ask before you'll get it. So ask yourself, wherever you are, whenever you hear this, ask for the healing you need. If you know what that is or think you know what it is, put it right in there. Hey, Creator, please, I need some help with emotional distress or whatever piece it is. Okay? And then just allow it to flow through you. And see what you get as you go. When we're done, I'm not sure if are you going to start with a little journey? I think we will.
Guided meditation. And then I'll go into the drumming part of it. And I just wanted to mention with the bowls I will be using, they're a set of singing bowls. And each bowl is in a different key. Some will be the same key, but they're at different hertz. I'm not too familiar with how the hertzes work or how they even can tell, but I guess they know when they prepare these bowls. But they will resonate to you. So allow yourself, a certain bowl may just really resonate with you when it's played. Allow it to go where it needs to go within you. And that's generally where, when you resonate to a bowl in particular, that's generally where the sound will go. And that's an opportunity for you to heal whatever needs to be healed and brought to the surface and freed after the drumming. So go ahead.
So it'll just be a short little meditation thing to get you in the right place. But we want to continue to be in the heart. Where we want to be is in that theta. You know that place when you wake up in the morning before you're fully awake? That place where you're still partly in dream time, partly in wake time. That's where you want to be for the best effect when we do these things. Also, as we go along, if you have questions, you can hit chat and type in the question, I guess. Or at times we'll stop, or when we're done, we'll open it up. And if somebody wants to ask questions, please do. Or make comments. That's fine too. But for now, let's dig into this little bit of sound healing. Relax, get comfortable. I see there's 4 of us now. We're the 4 directions. That's good. And we're going to let Sue take over.
Okay, just get yourself in a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Listen to the heartbeat of the drum. You find yourself, you're in your vehicle and you're on this dirt road in the middle of nowhere. And now just driving around. There's a small little area that you see where people have pulled off before. And you're curious, you see this little trail, and you want to just check it out. It's a beautiful day. So you pull over, get out of your car, you take your water bottle, and you meander yourself through these tall bushes. This little trail almost looks like it was an animal trail. As you come out of this bushy area, you're in this beautiful open field. Way off in the distance, you can see mountains with snow on top of them. The sun is high in the sky. It's a beautiful day. It's not too warm, but you can feel the warmth from the sun on your cheeks. You notice this trail is just a dirt trail, very soft and smooth, so you decide to take your shoes off, go barefoot, and just really connect with the Earth Mother. To your left, there's some beautiful, tall, ponderosa pines. There's a squirrel chattering, just scolding you, telling you that you don't belong there. This is his territory. To your right, it's a beautiful field. Every flower that you can think of. All kinds of colors. All kinds of activity. Lots of bees, flies. Hummingbirds are everywhere. Your senses are alive. You're hearing all the activity around you. Staying alert. You even feel the warmth of the dirt below your feet as you walk. Further out to your right, Just before the mountains, you can see this beautiful lake. You just continue to walk. Just enjoying the warmth from the sun. Listening to the birds, singing their spring songs. Up ahead, you can see a deer and her fawn. She looks up at you and just lazily goes back to what she was doing. It's almost like a paradise here. Further ahead on the trail, you see this beautiful tree. An old grandmother tree. It's huge. As you get closer, you can see she's been there a long, long time. It's like she's welcoming you. She wants you to come and just sit underneath her branches. So you continue walking, just enjoying the day and just letting everything go from the day. As you get closer to the tree, you see that the mother deer and the fawn have moved away. There's just so much activity going on with all the other birds and the bees, flies, butterflies everywhere. Everybody's busy doing what they were meant to do. As you get closer to the tree, you just realize how huge and how old and ancient she is. And you decide that that's where you want to stop. You get to her, you just sit down right next to her and lean up against her. And just feel so much gratitude for everything in your life. Beautiful day. All the wildlife, everything around, everything that surrounds you. You feel very relaxed. And you just enjoy.
And so in a minute, I'm going to put us on mute. Just take a few minutes to sit there and allow the drums to go through you. Release what you don't need anymore. Feel any dark energy, any painful energy, feel it leaving your body. Send it down into the Earth Mother. She'll take care of it for you. Just release, release, and we'll set up for the bowls. And then when we start with the bowls, remember, that'll be the healing energy. Let it come in. Let it go to every corner of you as you do your best to stay in your heart. Your brain's on vacation here for a couple hours. Let your heart rule. So now relax for a few minutes, and then we'll come back on. So relax again and allow the tones to come in. You may feel them in different areas, different chakras. No idea what you're talking about. And so just continue to let that energy go through you. And I'm going to give one more. This bowl is not connected to the others as a healing tool. But again, this is the initiation into the fabric of the universe bowl. So as the healing energy of the other bowls is going through you, allow this to tie you into Creator above and Mother below. Let it run through that area at the base of your skull, the 8th chakra in the Mayan tradition. And just feel the energy flow. And so I need to, before I open up for questions, I just need to say this because it always honors one of my old teachers, Lyman Yellowhair, who used to pour sweat lodges for us 25 years ago. Yeah, about 25 years ago, and was wonderful with teachings and shared a lot of his knowledge with many of us. Anyway, every time he would come out of the lodge, and he was quite a character, Lyman was in a lot of pain. He had a lot of physical issues, some caused when he was in the war and by chemicals that were used on them. But he never lost his sense of humor. Each time Lyman would come out of the sweat lodge, he would look at everybody as they came out, and he'd have us gather around before we went for the meal, and he would get this very crooked smile on his face, and he wanted to know, as he asked everyone, so, was it good for you? And it would take them a second or two, and then they'd get it. Anyway, I hope this was good for you. I certainly felt the energy flowing really nicely with it. And thank each of you for that, because this isn't about Sue and I. We're here and we work with these instruments, these tools, to bring what we can to it, but nothing happens except with the circle. So those of you who hear this later, tap into the energy we created here today. This was a really good group of folks. And with that, if anyone has any questions, feel free to type them on chat or unmute yourself and ask your question, or has a comment to make, either one. We know Diane can't ask because her mic doesn't work for some reason. Sorry, Diane. From Scott to everyone, just mahalo. Absolutely, Scott, mahalo. Glad you guys were here, bringing in that part of the world and bringing in the water energy in that part of the world. I guess we will, because I don't see any questions coming or comments coming, which is fine. I don't have to bring any. But we'll close out with what? A song?
Yeah, it would be nice to hear from folks.
I'm sorry. For Scott, pray for Mauna Kea and the water. Absolutely. We're very invested in water is life, as many of you know. And so, yeah, always pray for the water. Over there in Hawaii, anywhere, everywhere, anywhere it is, water is definitely life. Without it, we all perish. So yes, let's pray for that. Good thought. Thank you very much for that, Scott. And since we have people from Hawaii on, why don't we do that with the, and I always get this wrong, Ho'oponopono? No. How do you say it? Anyway, Ho'oponopono.
Close, you're close.
All right. Which is very simple. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Let's send that to the water. And I see Scott laughing, so I didn't even come close. Denise says her headache now feels better. Great. Awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you. I've been accused sometimes of giving people headaches, so it's nice to see somebody lost a headache. And we know Diane's doing well. I can feel that. And I guess Sophia is here somewhere, so I hope you're feeling it as well. And all of you, as I said, as this goes out there, please feel free to use this. It is a great tool. We had fun doing it. Thank everybody who donated to our global community building project to help provide money for elders to get to conferences, to get to gatherings, to get to sacred ceremonies. And for those listening to this, we would love you if you could donate something. Go to www.sotem, SOTEM.org. Hit donate and put what you can into the pot. You will help some elders get to the places they need to be, which I think ties into what Scott's saying, because it's very important right now that we all end up where we need to be. And sometimes we have elders come from places like Hawaii, and that's not cheap. You can't take a canoe anymore. It just doesn't work. Plus, the waters are so polluted, you probably wouldn't be able to get the oars in them. We're working on that too, people. So we're going to have Sue take it over and take us out.
Yeah. This is one I wrote. It's just a short one. Spirit lives in everything, guides us daily with our dreams, shows us what we need to see, helps us through eternity. Can you listen to the call, trust and follow attentively? Find the joy within your heart, know you're guided tenderly. Peace be with you as you walk softly with each step you take. Feel the earth beneath your feet, see the beauty everywhere. Spirit lives in everything, guides us daily with our dreams, shows us what we need to see, helps us through eternity.
And so we see thanks up there on the board. You're all very welcome. Thank you all, because you were a huge part of this. It doesn't work without you, believe me. It's just us talking to a wall then. The other thing you can do, and I'm so glad that Scott brought up praying for the waters. I really appreciate that, Scott, because it's so important. A lot of us are working on unity things to come together, to solve these issues together, to create clean water, clean air, Oh, a more sane way to living. And so any of you that want to know a little more how we're doing that, go and join us at World Summit. We're on Facebook. There's World Summit groups. We have a website, World Summit. Soon I'll be traveling down to Mexico for a little mini summit of the World Summit group in January. And we're working on things where we can jointly and collectively pray for the waters, pray for the people, pray for the animals, pray for the Earth Mother. Let's make the changes we need for the 7 generations, for our kids' kids' kids. Soon I worry about our grandkids now and their kids and the kids beyond them. But it's gotten even worse. Now I worry about us as we sit here. And so I hope this healing today, I know this healing today, went out to all those things as well. And thanks to Scott and Denise for being in the middle of a water, in a water-based nation, a water-surrounded nation. So thank you, and we will see you. Okay, off fossil fuels, Scott put up. Yeah, there's tons of groups. We have our own sanctuary of the Earth Mother. To us right now, the big thing is working together, global unity, coming together. We can't separate off into, as important as these little things are, and I support a lot of them. I'm in a lot of them. The big thing right now is coming together as one, as all the prophecies talked about. And these sort of sound healing energies will allow us to do some healing together as we do that. So again, thank you all. We're coming to the end. Zoom's going to hack us off in a moment because I could have even put more time up, but I thought we had more than we needed. So again, blessings to all of you. Thank all of you. We had a ball with this.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.